What is this here? What are the forms that you've given me? Life insurance, health insurance, mutual funds. So many details are they asking me. What's the relevance of answering all these questions? I don't even know many of these answers. Just write whatever that you want to, yeah. I cannot take all of this. क्या क्या यहाँ क्यों मांग रहे हैं ये सब? मैं दे रहा हूँ ना. I'm giving you the investment check. I'm giving you the insurance checks. What more do you need? Easy है ना, खत्म कर देना. I mean, I'm just struggling. So many times I have rewritten. There are so many cancellations. Why don't you fill it yourself? You go out. Don't you know all the details? But relevance. I have a video to make. You tell me. I'll make that. So many details. What's the relevance of? Then I will explain you all the relevance. I'm fed up here. The questions that are asked to you in all the forms that I've given you. Okay? चल, मैं चल. अगर आप भी राकेश की तरह ऐसे ही उलझन में हो, and you are feeling the same thing what Rakesh is going through, then this video is definitely for you. Stay tuned as I tell you the relevance of all those questions that are asked in the financial papers, right from health insurance, KYC, life insurance, mutual funds, fixed deposit, etc. All of us have filled in application forms, or rather allowed our agent or the financial advisor to fill in forms and the data. How can you say that all the data was correct to the T? I have few forms in front of me which I had given to Rakesh, and let me just take you to some of the common questions that are asked. I have a KYC form, I have a mutual fund form, and a fixed deposit form, your life insurance as well as health insurance. And let me take you through all those questions and answer one by one. The KYC form usually would ask, and the two, three common things that are asked is very simple and outright. First is name. Think recommends you write the name as per the PAN card. The name that appears on your PAN card should be written, since PAN card becomes one of the documents that you would submit for all your transactions. So the name as per the PAN card. Second would be your address. Think recommends the address identical to whatever you have mentioned in your Aadhaar card or the passport. Whichever document that you are providing as an address proof, you need to mention that address exactly. Please do remember here that when you are writing the address, there could be some spelling mistakes on your Aadhaar card. Do not try and correct those spelling mistakes. Write it the way it is appearing on your Aadhaar card. Third thing regarding gender, marital status and citizenship, residential status, all of this remains common across many of those forms. So I will not get into the specifics of all of that. If you would have observed, quite a lot of these forms, and of course of late we have been filling most of the forms online, quite a lot of these forms ask for the mother's name. Earlier it was different. We used to ask you the father's name, and now we are asking the mother's name. What do you think would be the reason? One reason, the mother's name never appears on any of the documents, right? So your PAN card usually would carry your father's name or the husband's name, and in this case it acts as a security question. Secondly, mother's maiden name will never change, irrespective of what her status is and what her name is. In many of the customs, usually the mother's name will change post-marriage, not only because of the surname, but also because there could be a practice that the mother's real name also needs to be changed. So in that sense, the mother's maiden name always has a lot of relevance in the questionnaire. The proof of address, as I told you, the proof of address will always be your Aadhaar card or the passport. Remember, you might be staying in some other state and you would have changed your residence and have not updated your Aadhaar address or your passport. There is not much you can do about it apart from changing those addresses on the documents. So the address that appears on the passport or the Aadhaar will always remain the base for the address. And as I told you earlier, do write the correct address the way it is appearing on these documents. Email ID. This is one particular area where many of the investors do falter upon. आप सोचेंगे क्यों falter करेंगे? I'll give you an example. I have been working in an organization and the organization has given me an email ID. That is the email that I normally access. I have a personal email ID as well, but कौन सा email ID that I access more is the office email ID. So most of the time, the investors do write their official email ID. When you change over from one office to another, or you change, the email ID no longer remains relevant. In those particular circumstances, to change those emails on your KYC becomes cumbersome. So I would suggest keep your personal email ID where you will get all the details of your investments, insurance and everything. Ideally, create one separate email ID only for these purposes. Regarding mobile, there are many times that the mobile number changes. Ideally, always retain one number which will be there and which has been there permanently with you, and only mention that particular mobile number. In case if you are taking life insurance and health insurance policies on your spouse's name, do not write your name, because that could be times that OTPs are asked for, that could be times when verification is asked for, and those verifications will usually come to you only when it ideally should be going to your wife's mobile number. So do not make the mistake, write जिस बंदा या बंदी का आप इंश्योरेंस ले रहे हैं या इन्वेस्टमेंट्स कर रहे हैं उनका ही मोबाइल नंबर मेंशन कीजिए. Well, that's about the KYC. I have some details about life insurance as well. We usually do ask for an identification mark. Now, अगर आपको याद होगा, identification mark is also asked in our passport application, right? That could be a mole on your finger, the mole on your ear, something like that. That could be a unique identification that only you, your spouse, your family members might know of, and not everybody knows of it. So an identification mark becomes important and you need to mention that. Second, the health insurance and the life insurance does ask for the occupation details. Now remember, they ask for the present occupation. It could be that you could be an architect and today you would be into some other profession, right? Architecture as a profession may not be having that kind of a risk for the life insurer, but the profession that you are into currently could involve a lot of risk for them. So write the present occupation details, whatever profession that you are in, or the address of the employer, the company name, the address of the employer also means a lot. If I am working in a company but which is operating out of Afghanistan, what do you think the insurer is going to do? Obviously, he is going to look at your application with a little bit of suspicion, with a little bit of doubt, because he is carrying the risk to insure you. Since how many years have you been working with this organization or the employer, and the designation that you are currently working on? So this becomes extremely important, and I'll give you a small example of the same. If my designation is a welder in the same steel company, and if I am a general manager in the same steel company, what do you think? Who carries more risk? Of course, the welder, right? So in that way, the designation also is very important. The gross annual income is asked. Whatever income that you get, please mention that income and mention in the forms. The income is also very, very important. On one of the aspects is because you are taking a life insurance, right? If I am earning 1,80,000 rupees and if I seek 2 crore policy, do you feel that the insurer is going to give me that? Obviously not. So in this case, the income becomes important. These details do not go to the income tax authorities. Any which ways, all of those particular transactions are tracked by your PAN card. So there is nothing that you can hide from the officials today. So it is prudent on our part to write whatever that is correct and factually right. There are existing life insurance and health insurance policies and the numbers that are asked for. Please do mention that. We have come across so many of the applications that we do not mention the other life insurance and health insurance details and the policy numbers. It's extremely important, and it probably goes to our advantage that the insurer knows that some other insurer has already insured them under certain conditions. If there are some special conditions, the insurer does know, and he also will give you the insurance on those grounds. There are questions which mention, do we take part in any hobbies or activities that can be considered dangerous? It's very important. There are people who would go to Dubai who would do skydiving. Nothing wrong about it. There were times when these particular things were not insured and it was considered hazardous. Now, quite a lot of companies have understood that it is a leisure activity unless and until you are taking this as a professional. And when I say professional, obviously you carry some certification to conduct all of these activities and undergo all these activities. A few questions which are based on the health. Have we ever suffered from diabetes, high blood sugar, high blood pressure, hypertension, respiratory disorders, all of that? Everything has to be mentioned. Remember, when we are mentioning this, doesn't mean that the applications will get rejected. The people who mention things correctly are the ones who get insurance, immediately, because it's a contract which the investor and the insurance company or the financial institution is getting into together, right? So when you expect the insurance company to fulfill their obligations in terms of giving the claims, your details also has to give him the confidence that they were right to the T. It might be that you may not have the papers. Do not worry about that. You can always mention that it happened 12 years back, but I do not have those health papers. It's perfectly fine. Almost nobody writes the family doctor details. मैं पूछता हूँ क्यों? अब क्यों नहीं फिल करना है? नहीं, हम कभी डॉक्टर के पास गए ही नहीं. And I do not believe that even a single person. It is very important. Even if you want to be nearest general practitioner, please make a mention of that and write that contact details. There are certain questions like during the last 5 years, have you ever undergone or been recommended any hospitalization? You need to mention that because these are very relevant questions for the underwriter, medical underwriter or the life underwriter to insure you properly. Remember, अगर हम ये सब चीज नहीं लिखते हैं, the insurance company and the health insurance company under IITA has every right to reject your application any point of time. Why do you want to take that risk? Because you are paying a premium for the same. So why not write the correct information? Another very important question is, have any of your parents, brothers, sisters died or suffered prior to age 65? So due to heart disease, stroke, diabetes, kidney cancer, any form of paralysis, do mention that. Normally हम लिखते हैं okay, so and so relative expired at age 59. What's the reason of death? Natural. Natural to sabhi. Death itself is natural, but there is a reason for the death, right? So please mention that. It could be cardiac arrest, it could be an accident on the road, it could be whatever that's right. Please mention that. Do not assume that whatever details I am putting in the application will go against us. Moving on, let's see some more questions. And in terms of health insurance, there are some added columns. अगर हमें जब भी लगता है if there is some more detail and we cannot fill it into those forms, just attach one more A4 size paper and write the question number XYZ and the details about it. In case if you have a prescription, attach a photocopy of the same. There is nothing wrong in adding that. The more information you give related to your health, it strengthens your case that you are true and you want that insurance for yourself. And in all probabilities, the health or the life insurance company underwriters will see your application positively. There are certain other questions as well which relate to in the last 5 years have we undergone any hospitalization. We need to mention that and the reason of hospitalization along with any medication that are going on in case if there are any. Then there is this family health history in terms of our father, mother, sister, brother, health, their age, the current health status. So normally हम लोग क्या करते हैं एज लिखते हैं and health status fine or healthy. On the face of it I look healthy, but internally am I actually healthy? We can write healthy because obviously we are not doctors and we do not know the internal health. But the thing is, if there is anything which is worth mentioning, please do mention. Do not avoid, do not just avoid writing it. Please do mention that details. Your height and weight. Another area where most of the fudging happens. हाइट आपका अगर 5 feet 6 है तो आप 5 feet 4 नहीं लिख सकते. If you are unsure about your height, you can write that 5 feet 5 approximately, but please mention approximately because the underwriters will understand that you are not sure about your height. But in all probabilities, if I would ask you how much time does it take for you to actually measure yourself, measure your height, and in terms of weight, one common area which many times you've seen people fudge because they want a health insurance. Assume कर लो मेरा height 5 feet 6 है and my weight is 89. As per the ideal BMI index, typically I should be having weight of 65. That's the ideal BMI index. What do I do to get the proper premium? It would be I would reduce my weight to 65. Imagine if there is a claim immediately within a month. Can my weight actually reduce from 89 to 65? The health insurance in this instance have every right to reject your claim. So please do write the correct weight and height. In case आपका अगर weight ज़्यादा है, you might be, as per the BMI index, you might be charged a little extra, but it's perfectly fine because you're not hiding any material fact from the health and the life insurance companies. In terms of consumption of alcohol and tobacco, another important aspect and very interesting to share because normally जो लोग smoke करते हैं, they smoke 10 cigarettes in a day, but they say नहीं एक या दो cigarettes मैं smoke करता हूँ in a day. That's wrong. If you smoke 10 cigarettes in a day, please mention 10 because if the insurance companies do ask for a health checkup and the blood test, the nicotine traces will tell them exactly as to how much cigarettes you smoke and your application is but obviously going to get rejected. Forget about the application in case if you got a health insurance and tomorrow due to any claim, if they find out that you have been, you have been a chain smoker, then that could be a high possibility that your claims can be rejected outright. Would you like that to happen? I'm sure the answer is no. Write the correct thing. Even if you are an occasional drinker, write occasional. You could be a social drinker. But if you drink once in a week, write the ml, the quantity that you drink, and write the kind of drink that you have and you consume. And please do that. In terms of nominee details that are asked in almost all the applications, we need to make sure about one thing. It's common across all forms, but make sure of one thing. Remember, write the nominee. In case the nominee is a minor, do write the guardian's name and details of them. Right? Do not just write the name of the minor and just leave it at that. Because it could be that when the minor is still a minor, the money could go to her. And that could be actually a problem and the money goes into a suspense account. Then the entire exercise will be a futile one. So don't do that mistake. In terms of education, of course, the education details are asked for. When we say education details, इसका क्या relevance हो सकता है? Let's assume one thing. If I place myself as a postgrad and if there is somebody below 10th standard, what do you think? Who is more knowledgeable? Who's got a better lifestyle? And who in all probabilities would be much more healthier and would understand things much better, right? So there are a lot of these parameters that the underwriters go through. So assume करते हैं कि जो बिलो 10th स्टैंडर्ड का है, उसका एक स्टेचर होगा सोसाइटी में, he would be working under certain different professions than a postgrad, right? In terms of the payment details, the check details, whenever you draw a check or you are giving any investments or drawing any money towards any of your insurances, please make sure that you're not doing it from your salary account, because your salary account can always change. Remember, these account details are captured. So जब भी आपका maturity आता है या any sales proceeds come in और एक claim आ जाता है, all of this money is usually transferred into that particular account where the money came from. So अगर वो आपका salary account है and after some few years you have changed into something else and that particular bank is no longer existing, so वापस से वो बहुत बड़ा एक issue आ जाता है and it's cumbersome to change those banks later. So ideally, issue your checks or your investments or premiums through your personal savings account only. Let us see in terms of any mutual fund details that they ask for. There is one particular detail which is relevant, which is FATCA details. In case if you are taxed not only in India but abroad, you need to mention that. And you need to have those tax numbers as well relevant to those. And you need to, of course, write your income range. In income range, normally, I suggest whatever is your gross income, please mention that. I mentioned that earlier as well. Most of the times क्या होता है कि we just fill in blindly, you know, 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs कर दो, वो लिख दो, right? So don't do that. Whatever is your exact income, please mention that. Many a times we do investments on our spouse's name, right? And she could be a housewife, a homemaker. So in those particular circumstances, if you are going to invest around 25 lakhs on her name, how come a housemaker or a housewife investing 25 lakh rupees, right? So ideally there has to be an entry, you know, as a gift that if you have given to her, then it needs to reflect into your income tax papers as well. So somewhere, in case if you want to do it, keep her as a second holder in your investments and do the investments on your name. Ultimately, the money is all yours, right? So do not make the mistake of, you know, investing too much on a housewife's name. Rather do it on your name, because the income is going to be from your accounts only, right? So make sure that you follow that. You might ask me, in terms of the financial income brackets that we have to mention, कौन देखता है? Well, let me just tell you that all the details regarding the financial standing or your income bracket, suspicious transactions are always shared with the financial intelligence unit of the government. Till now, nothing much has happened, but who really wants to come on and get caught on the wrong side of the fence? Would you want to? Well, that's about it. A few couple of things that I would want to, general observations that I have to share with you is that these are all the forms, right from the KYC, fixed deposit, mutual funds, life insurance, health insurance. Well, I know what's there on your mind. It's so cumbersome, and since we are not used to filling forms, what do? Well, you can always take professional help. In case if there is a distance, you can always share your details on email. Like Think Financial Planners always has this particular questions formed on email, and you get the details from our clients. That's how you have a proof of what information that you have shared, what different investments and insurances. Just a recap, 3 things. One is basically try and fill your forms yourself. Secondly, in case if you can't, take professional help. Third, please be precise and proper and factually correct in whatever details that you're providing. Well, it's about time and I'm almost through with all these questions. And अभी तक तो राकेश का आता पता है नहीं. I just told him to relax a little bit. I feel that he's completely getting relaxed. Well, let me not just wait for him anymore. As and when he comes in, I will see that he fills in all these details, or at least I'll be with him to fill in all the details in the investments and insurance plan forms. In the meanwhile, if this particular video has made sense to you and has added little value to you, please do click on the subscribe button and share it with your near and dear ones and your friends and colleagues. And in case if you have some few questions that have been left unanswered, please do write to us in the comments box below and we will take up those questions in the subsequent videos. Till next Thursday, this is Rajesh Kennedy signing off. Guru Gurvar.